Welcome back, guys. This is going to be the first lesson that I wish that I learned or that somebody taught me when I was younger. To plant your feet. Plant your feet on solid ground. And I think oftentimes we get so confused in what that actually means. My entire life, I grew up in a very chaotic household. I come from a family that's divorced. I'm the youngest of three siblings, and we didn't always see eye to eye when I was younger. And that's something that I struggled with for a long time. I didn't necessarily know what stability looked like, or what consistency looked like, or loving somebody just for the sake of loving them. Besides one individual, and well, two. The first being my grandmother, I should say. My entire life before she passed away in 2016, it was to love people unconditionally, no matter who they were, no matter what they have done to you, no matter what you've done to them, no matter if you are meeting them for the first time, that you should love everybody unconditionally, no matter what. And for whatever reason, that has stuck with me my entire life. And yes, have I fallen short of that? Absolutely, because I'm human. I'm not going to be perfect in the slightest. But I think one of the most beautiful things that I was able to take away from that is everybody has their own story, everybody is fighting their own battles, and that nobody has anything figured out. Just because it may look like that on social media doesn't necessarily mean that they're not struggling behind the scenes, or that perfect family that you see, it's not perfect. Nobody's perfect except for one man, Jesus Christ. Come on, hello. My second piece of this is that in order for me to actually back up what I'm saying is when I graduated college, for whatever reason, it was almost instantly, the moment that I graduated, that I knew that I needed to change my life around. And it wasn't necessarily like I was doing anything too crazy, but I was being very stagnant in my life, and that I wasn't necessarily focused on growth. I was confused on my identity. I was confused on my purpose in life. And I want to tell you that none of that would have been possible without making the first initial step of surrendering myself to Christ. I chose to die to my flesh and to die to my old habits and the old life that I used to live in order to pursue a new one where God was going to guide me in the direction that He needed me to be. Did I have all the answers, and did I know what was going to come out of things? No, absolutely not. But I understood that God was going to allow me to flourish in wherever He needed me. Even if that meant that I was supposed to struggle a little longer, I was okay with that, because I knew and I was willing to accept the fact that God is going to take care of me regardless. As long as I continue to commit myself to Him and surrender myself each and every single day, anything's going to be possible. In the past 8 months, give or take, my life has changed drastically. Not only for the better, but it's forced me to grow more in certain areas, especially in the areas that I lacked in. I was a very selfish individual. I always was just caught in the things that I wanted out of my own desire. And to tell you the truth, giving my life to Christ was the best thing that I've ever done in my life. And it will remain that way. So when I tell you to find your foundation, plant both your feet in the ground into something that is sturdy, like a relationship with Christ. Because anything else, anything that the world has to offer, it's a bunch of crap. It's gonna do you good for a short period of time, but then you're gonna have to find another thing and another thing and another thing. It's like a revolving door. It will never be fulfilled. It will never fulfill you. And lastly, the last thing that I want to leave you with is that in order to build that foundation, it needs to be backed with consistency and showing up for yourself. And that can be the hardest thing sometimes. First half of the battle is admitting that you need to die to your own self and that you need to commit your life to Christ. The second is to show up for yourself and to show up for Christ and carry your own cross each and every single day. That no matter what happens, no matter what you go through, no matter the challenges that life is going to bring, you have to show up and carry your own cross each and every single day. Because flipping that perspective and showing that you're committed to carrying the things that you need to carry, it will change your perspective, it will change your life, because you won't necessarily look, for validation from other people or the approval from other people, because you know the purpose is greater than you. You know the purpose is greater than everybody. And it's for the purpose of the kingdom of God.